Over 60% of small service-based business owner-operators report that recruiting and hiring is their number one biggest challenge. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a powerful day. My name is Desi Maynor. I am the owner and founder of Maynor Leadership, where we help small service-based business owner-operators run and grow their businesses and teams like a dynasty sports business. And we have helped over 100 businesses in over 40 different industries do just that. And you're going to want to stay to the end of this video to get 13 tips on how to hire, find, and recruit the A team that you've always wanted that will make your life easier, to give you more impact, more time, and obviously more money on that bottom line. Stay to the end and I'll give you that. And if you haven't already subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every single Tuesday when we drop a brand new video to help you run and grow your service-based business like a dynasty sports team. I have personally used these exact strategies I'm going to give you today with over 1,000 different sports coaches and players trying to get into the college level and make it further into the professional level of sports, using the exact strategies I'm going to teach you today. So I know a little bit about them, and I'm going to give you all 13 of those tips right at the very end of this video, so make sure that you stay to the end. So let's jump in and talk about recruiting. So I was a Division I college football player, and recruiting is as of the utmost importance. It is absolutely paramount in order to win. If you know anything about college sports, you know that is absolutely true. I started being recruited when I was a freshman in high school. I actually got my first letter. I believe it was from Oregon University when I was at the end of my freshman year summer. They gave me my first letter. Hey, we're interested in you. We're watching you. Make sure that you're paying attention, and we're going to be updating you and communicating with you along the way. And then they just started coming in like crazy over the next 2-3 years. My point here is that recruiting for you is the exact same way. You need to always be recruiting. You need to be looking for either one, awesome people that you just can create a role for, or looking for a specific role that you're trying to fill within your company. But look, great players make great teams. Great teams tend to win games. The same exact thing applies in your business. If you have great players because of your recruiting strategy, okay, then you will have a great team that's going to win. Winning people win games. It's the same exact thing in business. If you have high performers, guess what they're going to do? They're going to perform well, and then they're going to help you win and help your team win even more. Your team, your A team, that team that you're trying to build to help win you games, those people, the people in your business, your team members, from your leadership all the way down to your frontline employees, are the most important and most valuable asset of your business. So recruiting those people and recruiting A players and A teams is the most important thing that you can be doing right now, right? I see all the time people are talking about, I shouldn't have hired them, or I needed a warm body, or I need help with this, or anything like that. All of the excuses, oh my gosh, I've heard them all. Trust me. Here's really what it comes down to. A donkey is not going to win the Kentucky Derby. I heard that from a mentor of mine, and oh my gosh, is it true? Donkeys don't win Kentucky Derbies. Thoroughbreds do. C players don't win games and championships. A players and A teams win. So when you're recruiting, that's what you're looking for. And it all starts with your culture. And when talking about culture, we mean your mission and your values. That's where you have to start. They have to align with that. Otherwise, none of it is going to work. And it absolutely will be a complete disaster and a huge pain in your ass, to be dead honest with you. Now, just like sports recruiting, when we're talking about even college football is a great example. It is extremely competitive, okay? Look, the best players, the A players that you're trying to get on your team, most of them have jobs, and that's okay. You're trying to bring them to you because in full integrity, you believe, and this should be true, that your team and your company and your mission and your values are making a bigger impact, and that person, that A team, will make a bigger impact and help you solve the problems to make progress towards your mission and accomplish that mission because of how incredibly important your cause and your movement is behind your business. Now, A players like good teams. That's why I like teams like Alabama or any of your championship teams keep getting good at better players because they win championships. So your brand strength and your track record do make a difference. Like, they have to be good, they have to be strong. So you need to have a strong presence in what you're doing. You need to be putting that out there and make sure that you're spreading that message as much as you're recruiting fans, let's call them, which would be clients or customers. You need to be recruiting for talent, and they work both ways. Okay. It's the same exact thing that you recruit for fans or customers or clients that you recruit for talent. Right? Those things are almost identical, but the key is that you're probably not even starting to recruit or hire or interview until you need to. That is the myth that we are debunking today. You need to absolutely always 100% of the time be recruiting competitively and doing so aggressively so that you're always looking for the A teams and the A players to get on your team behind your mission, behind your values, and help you make progress towards winning your championship and achieving your goals. A teams and A players are of the utmost importance because they help you win, make more impact, get more time back for you to achieve your passions and to grow that business, as well as making more money so that you can move and serve more people and help them solve their problems. So go ahead and type talent in the chat right now. Put it in the comments. Type talent, TALENT, talent. Go ahead and put that right in there right now if you know that recruiting needs to improve. Type talent in that comment box right now if you know that talent needs to get better and you need to improve your recruiting strategy right now. All right, just like I promised you right at the end, here is the secret sauce. 13 tips for finding and hiring the right candidate. And I'm just going to show it. I'm sharing my screen with you right now. All right, so finding the candidates is only half the battle. Now we have to sift through that list with that fine-tooth comb. We got to figure out who it is that you want to hire. And yes, the culture fit is of the most important thing that you're looking at. Is your mission in alignment and your values in alignment? So like we said before, employees are your biggest expense. So don't rush this process. You're recruiting aggressively. Now we're talking about actually getting a candidate and start the interviewing and hiring process. This takes time, so be patient. It should be a privilege to be able to join your company. Okay, you're just not trying to get a warm body in to fill a seat to answer phones. No. If that's the case, then you just need to do more work. Okay, so I'm here to tell you right now. So first step is decide who it is that you're trying to hire. Are you trying for a specific role, or are you trying to get an all-star human? That's the first decision that you need to make. It could be that you're looking for both, right? But when you actually get that list of people, what is it that you're looking for? Are you trying to fill the role of an SDR, an additional plumber, an HVAC technician, whatever it may be? You need to decide exactly what you're looking for. Or are you just looking for an awesome human, and then you'll train them into whatever it is that you need the role to fit? So make sure you make the decision on that. Number 2 is get referrals. We're talking about inside referrals, internal referrals. So our team members often seem to know what it takes to already work there. They should, at least, if you've been setting any expectations or doing any accountability, which you should probably go check that video out if you haven't already watched that, the accountability formula, which is expectations plus measurement times reinforcement equals accountability. So go check that out now. But go ahead and get those referrals from the people on your team, right? I do this often. We encourage them to refer their friends who could be a good fit at the company, right? We take them very, very seriously because usually they are a really good source of what a quality hire is. We've even gone to the point of giving a kind of referral bonus if something comes from an internal referral from one of our current team members. We'll give them like $500 or $1,000 bonus if they get hired and they stay for 90 days. Or I've even done like a tier, like 90 days, 500. And once they stay 6 months, we'll give them another 500 for an internal referral. We've filled entire offices and teams with internal referrals only. A lot of times what you have to do is just do some training about this. Who are we looking for? What traits are we looking for? And train your team how to do that and set up that incentive program correctly. People will be extremely motivated in order to fill those seats and to make their team because they get to have some empowerment behind that. and really some authority in picking the people that they get to work with and be on that A team with them. So that is super powerful. Go ahead and get those referrals and build an internal recruiting strategy there. Number 3 is run the ad, whether it be Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. Run the ad externally on social media and on those job sites. Start with the company, right? So Maynard Leadership. And then this is what we do. We help service-based entrepreneurs run and grow their business like a dynasty sports team. Our culture here is we believe in and challenge service entrepreneurs to reach their full potential. And then you go into your values, okay? We believe in, okay, competitive greatness, elite communication, and so on and so forth, and all 5 of our. So you start with the company, what the company does. Then you go into we believe in this as the mission. Now you talk about the culture and the values. This is how we operate on the daily. And now you give kind of your value proposition, which is really your job description in detail, and use it like a sales letter. Like it needs to sound good. It needs to be catchy. It needs to be persuasive. Tell them the problems that they're going to be solving in that role and the impact that they're going to be having within the mission and within trying to achieve and accomplish the goals that they would be set out to do if they're part of the team. So run that ad and keep it running almost all the time. And yes, that costs a lot of money, but you can turn that up and down. Right, but you always want to have something going, but it's all about the creative and the copy and how you're positioning that as you're recruiting. Number 4 is always check the resumes and always call the references. All the hiring managers probably know this, but I mean, right here, all hiring managers know people can stretch the truth on their resumes. Ain't it true? So we got to double check them. So read them. Also call the references. I do this even before I ask them to do my intro video, which is number 5. I just want to see whether they took the initiative to even let their references know that somebody might be calling or that they use them as a reference. So after I kind of sift through the references, the resumes, then I'll call the references on and spot check some of those deals there. Do your diligence on this. Remember, they are your biggest asset, and you're about to spend a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money on them. So do the work, do the unsexy work in order to get the right people behind you. And then number 5 is an intro video, okay? So once I've kind of sifted through those resumes, I called some references. The ones that have made it to this point, I'll have them send me an intro video. So usually I just do a 2-minute video. I have each candidate send me this video, whether it be DM it or text it or email it in, doesn't really matter. And I just say, tell us about yourself, what makes you happy in a workplace, what are some of your goals, and then why should we hire you for this role? I just want to get a feel for their personality. I want to get their vibe, and I want to see kind of what their mindset is as I move forward. Remember, this takes a minute. Okay, this is a process, and that's totally fine. If they make it through the intro video stage, I now take them to do a 30-minute drive-by video interview. Okay, so this is oftentimes on Zoom or digitally like this. I do a 30-minute. I call it a drive-by. Should be short. You want to figure out whether you want to continue with the applicant or not, right? You're doing a screening, essentially. You're just taking this funnel and you're bringing it down to be less and less people. During these calls, I like to do 2-on-1. So it'd be like me and one of my hiring managers to that one person who's on the other side of the call. 2 ears, one mouth for a reason. So we should only be talking for like 10 minutes of the time. We want them talking 20 minutes at a time. So we want good open-ended softball-like questions that are super easy for them to answer, right? Now, once they make it through this point, at some point in the process, I use a testing tool. We use DISC. Okay, so number 7 is use a testing tool. We highly recommend the DISC assessment. It's a personality assessment, a leadership assessment, a communication assessment, but it gives us who this person is so we can tell does their personality fit the role? Does it fit with our team, right? The compare and contrast of all of those things. We're talking about culture. We have a benchmark and interview report as well. So if you're interested in a DISC or a benchmark and interview report, let me know. Go ahead and put report or DISC in the comments right now and let us know, and we'll get that sent over to you as well for just a small fee. But the chemistry is incredibly important. The culture is incredibly important. How they communicate, what their personality type is extremely important to tell, is it going to fit the team and is it going to fit the role? So we use a testing tool in there as well. And then just ask yourself, do you like them? Right? Like, do you so far, are you liking the vibe? Do you want to work with them every day? Do you want to hang out with them almost every day? I mean, we've all sat in that interview with an applicant and thought, oh my gosh, I hope they don't join the team, right? It's never a good idea to hire someone that you don't like just because they're great. Then they're not a culture fit, then it's not a fit, period. You want a hell yes or a hell no. Like, those are your only two choices, and that starts with the culture fit and alignment. You're going to be working with this person a lot, so make sure that being good at the job isn't just enough. You want to be able to get along with them as well. Number 9 is look for that passion, or I like to call it grit, which is the combination of passion and perseverance, as Angela Duckworth talks in their book, Grit. If you haven't already watched that, go check that out now. But you can't fake passion. Like, you should learn something in the process of interviewing and hiring someone. You want to see their eyes light up, just like I'm talking right now, like getting A players, building A teams, having winning people, making people better, reaching their potential is incredibly important to me. That's why you hear it come out of my voice literally right now. Okay, so that is super important, to look for that passion and that perseverance within your interview process. And then, of course, you want to talk numbers. You got to talk about the compensation. What's the benefits? What's the compensation? Those are a ton of reasons why people apply to the job in the first place. So don't waste your time. Don't waste theirs. You got to talk about it at least the first couple of interviews. We also go over our core values in the interview. Oftentimes and that's in our long form interview of like, hey, how do you feel about this? Where do you think you fit in here? You know, what are some of your beliefs that are in alignment to that as well? So we cover that in the kind of our long form interview, which is after the drive-by, and it's a super long process because it should be difficult to join your amazing team. And if it's not, then you should start by creating an amazing team and then make it more difficult to join your amazing team, because if you just get a B or C player in there, it's going to be a mistake anyways. Okay, so you want this to take a minute, and you want them to be an A player. You want to bring A players on and recruit A players. So don't forget to talk about the compensation. And number 11, you want to create a POA worksheet. Okay, this is role clarity, the role clarity guide. Go ahead and type in the comments right now, role clarity or POA worksheet, if you need help with this section here. Okay, so a POA worksheet is just a simple document. It's like a one-pager that lists what a team member is responsible for. What are the outcomes that they're supposed to get? What does winning look like? And how will it take to win? And it also prioritizes their expectations. It sets a super clear expectation for what winning looks like in their exact role right there. Number 12, you want to go on a spousal dinner. So this one's a little bit out of the norm, but it absolutely happens in college. And this is exactly where I learned it. So in the final stages of me being recruited for Eastern Michigan, my position coach actually came to the house and ate dinner with my family. And that is a complete norm. There is when you find out, you get the full vibe. You get to meet the spouse. You get to understand their relationship. There's a lot of things that you learn about how that person operates, their personality, their communication, how they build relationships with their spouse. It's not an interview for the spouse, but it is an important part of the process. Now, it doesn't have to be a dinner every time. It could be a lunch. It could be a coffee, anything like that. It can be digital if it has to be digital. Like, you can do your own form of that, but you want to make sure that you do something in that, right? Spouses can have a ton of insight on whether the role, the mission, the values, and the personalities will be a fit, right? It's another step that makes this process unique, but also super effective in getting A players. And then the last one is having 90-day probation. And what this is, it's basically like anytime the first 90 days, either side of the party, either side of the table, you'd be like, yeah, I'm out. I don't like you here. Or you looked at me weird. You're fired. And it's a two-way road. It's great for HR, right? All new team members have a 90-day probationary period. That means both the employee and the employer make sure that the new job is a good fit for everyone. That's the actual definition of that. And if it doesn't work out for one reason or another, we just part ways, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No feelings hurt. There we go, right there. And then at the 90-day, now we have like that official hire. So my question to you now that you've got these 13 steps is, how are you going to change the way that you're recruiting and the way that you're hiring, right? Directionless hiring will burn you out and leave you with the wrong people. You're going to get B and C and even D players, right? You need to get your hiring strategy, your recruiting strategy, find the right talent for your business and for your team. And once you get that down, you will know how to look for them, how to hire them, and how to get them, because you watch this video and you're going to use these 13 tactics, right? Knock your hiring game out of the park and change the way you recruit with the conversations you have and the tools that you're using, but always be recruiting. That is your mantra to start saying. Be aggressive and shoot for A players. You got this. I believe in you. Great job, team. Way to be powerful. We made it to the end. You got your 13 tips. Here is your action plan, and that is to get that whiteboard out and start building a recruiting, interviewing, and hiring playbook. Lay it out, step-by-step process. Use the 13 tips that I just gave you. If not, rewind, go watch it again. Start to ramp up your recruiting, because the team players, the team members on your team are the most important asset and the most valuable asset that you have. So you only want A players, which make A teams, which happen to win games and win championships. That is your action plan. Break out the whiteboard, start designing that. And if you want some help with that, go ahead and book in a call with us. The link is right there. We would love to walk you through step by step how we can apply this to your specific scenario, build you that recruiting, interviewing, and hiring playbook, and get you unstuck and start getting you A players today. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button on this, share it with somebody, a fellow service entrepreneur that needs to hear and that needs to watch this, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get a new video every single Tuesday as we drop them and try to help you and believe in you and challenge you to reach your full potential. And go be competitively great today. Have a powerful day. Maynard Leadership and Desi are out.